Good morning, wherever you're watching us from. You're right on time for Kirk TV in the morning. Always to give you what has been happening all through the week, a review of what has been happening in the political scene. 3 months, or rather 87 days before the general election in August. Already the temperatures are continuing to rise each and every day. We'll be talking about what has been happening all through the week in terms of politics and governance. Running mate quest being one of the most talked topics this week, and we'll be taking a review of what has been happening under the Azimio la Umoja, as well as the Kenya Kwanza campaigns, and even as there arises concerns in regards to what the sharing deal between Kenya Kwanza leaders will be. That is what we'll be talking about later on, and also we'll be talking about the preparedness of the aspirants towards the August polls. So welcome aboard wherever you're watching us from. We are streaming live on Facebook at Kirk TV Kenya, on YouTube at Kirk TV Kenya, and remember you can send in your messages. We'll be sampling them later on in the program, and you can also take part to contribute in this discussion. But as we always do, welcome aboard. My name is Chris Sambo, but as we always start, we take a look at what is happening on the roads, and then we cross over to see what the newspapers have written, and then we get into our discussion this morning. All right, and as we take a look just so quick on what is happening on the roads, because the day has already started, and I just want us to take a look at the Central Business District, how it looks like, and so much congestion on the Status Road entering to the Central Business District. Haile Selassie Avenue as well doesn't look so much good in terms of the traffic that is on the different roads. Again, Ngong Road, as I take a look at what is happening on Ngong Road doesn't look so much good at different intervals. As you look at the map that will be scrolling on your screen, you will see some intervals of traffic that are not so much good if you are commuting. As well, I want to take a look at yet another road that is apart from Ngong Road. We also take a look at Langata Road. Langata Road doesn't look so much good right from the southern bypass descending all the way to Bagathi Way and Wilson Airport, linking all the way to Lusaka Road, and then entering the Central Business District through Bunyala Road and the Haile Selassie Avenue. So that is what is happening on Mombasa Road as well. And as we take a look at yet another road that is usually so much filled with activities, that is Jogoo Road. Jogoo Road right from Heshima Avenue, Bahati, all the way to Shauri Moyo doesn't look so much good, linking to Lusaka Road, and then through Kamukunji, and then entering into the Central Business District. That is matters to do with Jogoo Road. Yet another major road, Thika Super Highway, is one of the major roads linking in the Central Business District, and as you can see on your map right there, starting from Survey, Utalii, all through to Muthaiga, and the road linking Kembu Road to the Thika Super Highway, entering to Pangani, and then to the Central Business District through Ngara. Doesn't look so much good. So if you can be able to avoid that road, then you better do so, because as you can see on your map right there, things don't look so much good right from Survey using the Thika Road, and that is the major roads on how they look this morning. Jogoo Road, Ngong Road, Mombasa Road doesn't look so much good. And as we take a look at yet another road, that is the Mombasa Road doesn't look so much good, as you can see right there. But again, that is what is happening on the road, just to take you back to the Central Business District and what is happening at the Central Business District. The Central Business District doesn't look so much good. It's so much congested right there, as you can see on your map. And then that is what we have on the traffic. We take a look at what is happening on the newspapers. All right, and as we take a review of what is in the newspapers this morning, as we begin with the Daily Nation, is that the top story by the Daily Nation is that Karua Mudavadi, top deputy race, is talking about one of them who holds the record for the shortest term in office as vice president at just 56 days, while other could make the record as the country's first female deputy president, whichever way one looks at it. This new poll by the Nation media now talks about who is to be the next deputy president for the Kenya Kwanza. The battle is between Musalia Mudavadi, Kithure Kindiki, and Anne Waiguru, as well as the Azimio headache, which pits Martha Karua of NARC, Kalonzo Musyoka of Wiper, and then Peter Kenneth, who is a former member of parliament, all in the race to be the running mate for their respective presidential aspirants in the different coalitions as well. On the Standard newspaper, on top of the Standard newspaper, is the story of the first cabinet meeting by President Uhuru Kenyatta after 1 year, the last one being on February 2021. Again, President and his deputy sit down to conduct state business yesterday with the cabinet secretaries for the first time in over a year, even as the deputy president has been able to skip the cabinet sittings for the last 2 years. His presence yesterday as well raising a lot of political concerns in regards to the political temperatures that have been continuing to rise over time, and his differences with President Uhuru Kenyatta. And as you take a look at what the Star newspaper has on its top page is again where Ruto to meet unhappy Central Region leaders, talking about what former Kiambu Governor William Kabogo says that indeed, he wants to understand what the DP has impact for the Central Region. And as you can see there, the Star reporting that the Deputy President William Ruto now has called for a meeting with the Central Region leaders who feel left out in what was revealed this week in the power sharing deal that has as well raised a lot of concern, and that is matters to do with the newspapers, what they have written this morning, and as well reporting on what the political temperature has been for the last few weeks. And as we head towards the month of June, we expect a lot of political temperatures, and the time is kicking 87 days before the next the general election in August. And that is where I want to introduce my panel right here in studio, so that we can be able to talk about how we prepared before the August polls, and what should we be able to shape up before then, as well as what has been happening all through the week. We've seen a month filled with different political statements as well in regards to the running mate. That is one of the top stories that will be making headlines starting next week, considering that the IEBC has set the 16th of May to be the day when the presidential aspirants should submit the names for their running mate. And I want to introduce my panel just with me here in studio, and on my near right is Donny Langat, famously known as Blackie. Is an aspiring member of County Assembly for South Sea Ward in Langata constituency. And next to him is Francis Ireri Nyaga, who is a member of parliament aspirant for Naivasha constituency. And we have Victor Okello, who is an aspiring member of county assembly for Nairobi CBD ward as well, which is in Starehe constituency in the capital city. So welcome, gentlemen, to the program this morning.
Thank you.
I'm glad to see you this morning. Just to begin our discussion just quickly, what do you take of the political temperatures that you've seen? You've seen what has been happening even as we head towards the election. We've seen even different sides engaged in different, picking running mate, nomination. We have to do this and that. What do you take of our preparedness ahead of the August polls?
I think the August 9th election is a defining moment for this country. I would actually call it revolutionary. I think what is currently in catching people's attention, people are waiting to see who will be the running mate for the Azimio and the Kenya Kwanza teams. You can see the newspapers attempting to guide that process. My take is that a running mate is a very personal decision, and I think that even the panel for Azimio is just a ploy to hoodwink people, because they actually know who the running mate is. Mm-hmm. It is just an attempt maybe to put blame on somebody else in case somebody is not happy. Okay. So the running mate, that is what will actually dominate the airspace until Monday. And we are all eagerly awaiting the decisions of the principals for Kenya Kwanza and the Azimio side. Because A running mate is somebody who's supposed to give you, to complement you and add value to your team. Thank you.
When you take off the weeks that we've seen the different political temperatures rising, and you've seen as well what has been happening in regards to running mates, preparedness of different aspirants and all that. What do you take of this week as time kicks in for the next general election?
Thank you so much. As we have just come out from the nomination process, I know it's been people have been complaining. We have seen, although we have seen a few number of people going to court to really challenge the outcome of their nominations. But now, what is heated now is, as my colleague here is saying, it's about now the running mate, because both coalition, the Azimio coalition and UDA coalition, is very, very key time that it will determine what running mate are you bringing on board, because with the running mate comes the votes, and also there are people who are not ready to their person not being the running mate in the both coalitions. So it's really defining moment, because we've never seen such a challenge or heated moment as we prepare for the election, because we are seeing now a deputy president who is running for a political seat, who didn't get the blessing of the current sitting president. The same running mates that they are looking for, either leaning towards the president, who is the current president, and then the prime minister. So it's actually a defining moment, and we are really waiting to see who will be the running mates in both coalitions, so that you can shape the coming election period with about 86 days remaining towards the election. Yes.
Hello. Yes. You've seen what has been happening. Your take on in regards to the preparedness of our political scene and all that, even as we await as well for the climax of August polls after the announcement of the running mates.
Yeah, sure. The 9th general election, the 9th August general election is very key. And the position of a running mate, this is the second person in command of the executive, is so key to the country. As you can see, the Kenya is on crossroad with high food prices and everything. The life is so much unconducive. Now this person will be so key. As for us in Azimio, we have a panel that is going to decide on this. So the panel consists of experts drawn all over the country to come up with to choose the best person who can lead us through this. Yes.
And just to remain with you, because I think we've already gotten into the discussion of the running mate, we talked about the Azimio Umoja having experts to decide on who runs for the deputy president, that is the running mate of Raila Odinga. But again, they finished and completed that exercise, having interviewed almost 10 people, but then they have to submit like 3 names that the ODM party leader Raila Odinga will have to pick. Are those interviews termed, as they were termed, shambolic, because it's a matter of they know, or rather Raila knows who will deputize him. So the conduct of that interview has been talked by the Kenya Kwanza side. They have been very harsh on that, saying that this is just a shambolic process that is set to just blind Kenyans, but they already know who wants to deputize Raila Odinga.
For the people of Kenya Kwanza, first they're disorganized. They're trying. They have a say right now, like even the president has positioned Raila in a point where he can lose. That's their say. They are so bitter. The position where Ruto is right now is a position that Raila has always been ever since before. And they are so bitter, and it's like they want a weak candidate for Azimio, so it be a walk on the path for them. So they'll do anything possible. As I was growing up, I'm told bad manners is not associated with age or skin color or anything. It's a personal thing. So that's why you get, if somebody has bad manners, he can't lead us. And he'll try to do anything possible to block the right process. Having the right panel, I'm in Azimio, and I was sidelined in the consensus, okay. And I accepted it, and I'm not even changing my loyalty to Azimio, because we were talked to, everything was okay. As far as different from the Kenya Kwanza, as you can see, people are really complaining on the other end. So I think the Azimio people are doing their best so far. Yes.
Just coming to you, Doni, and I just call you Blackie because that is what...
that's actually my name.
Yes, that is what many people actually know you about. I just want to understand, you know, the Kenya Kwanza has been on the forefront saying, Azimio, you have to pick Kalonzo, but as well, they also have an headache to pick their own running mate. Do we see a scenario where they have already decided who becomes the deputy president, and they know that this is a strong candidate for us? So for us to be able to, you know, have a say in this election, we have to convince these people to pick a very weak candidate, because I would wonder why your opponent would try to, you know, and pick for you a deputy president.
The decision of who will be the running mate for William Ruto, the Kenya Kwanza, as I told you, is a very personal decision. Mm-hmm. You have to get somebody whom you have the chemistry together. What is happening on the other side is like your uncles coming to decide who your wife will be. It's like an arranged marriage, and that will end in tears, because if they don't pick Kalonzo, and I will tell you, Monday will come, mm-hmm. There will be some fallout. And a classical example of an arranged marriage where there was no chemistry was the Sonko and the Gade story, where people could not, after 1 month, they could not work together. So a running mate or a deputy governor position is a very personal decision for the person, for the principal. Very, very personal. I still insist that the so-called experts, we have been in Kenya long enough. It is just a gimmick and a ploy for the Azimio side to put blame on somebody else other than Raila. Mm-hmm. We know how it is done, and on Monday we will see who will be shedding tears.
Mm-hmm. Really, I don't know whether you will pick any of the sides, because like he is under Kenya Kwanza and Okello is on the Azimio. I assume that you will also pick on both sides.
Yeah.
But again, you've seen the names that have been fronted. Right now, as much as the media has been able to speculate on the speculations, but then the race has now narrowed down to very few candidates for the running mate. You can see the Kenya Kwanza battling with the Anne Waiguru, Kithure Kindiki, and Musalia Mudavadi. They have narrowed down to those, and as well as Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Peter Kenneth of Azimio la Umoja. You can see it's a balance between the mountain and the gender card. What do you take of the names so far that have been narrowed down to be the running mate of different presidential aspirants?
Yeah, I think as Blackie is saying, you see, it's a very, very personal choice. You have to really get a running mate that you can really work with, and somebody you can be able to trust. Because remember, being a deputy president, when you're out of the country as a president, you're leaving the country in your hands of that your deputy. So if someone you cannot trust, I don't think it's going to in the long run you're going to be able to develop a country. Because remember the case of Sonko and Mr. Gade Polycarp, who is running for governor of Nairobi. So it's really, we have to really put a fine line in this definition, because both sides they want to dictate who should the other person choose, because we're in the dilemma, because they are waiting to see who Azimio will vote, who appoint as a running mate. There's a chance of us having a first woman vice president, and as much as we want to get the right deputy president, there's both Mr. Honorable Raila Odinga and Mr. Ruto, they're in a dilemma, because they are wondering, should we get the right person for the country, or should we get the right person to bring the votes? So it's a bit tricky for us to decide now and say, for me to join this side or this side, because I'm a neutral person when it comes to the presidential. I only have one vote for the president, and I'm really keen on seeing who will make the right decision. Are they going to make the decision for the country, well-being of the country, or are they going to make the popular vote? So it's up to I'm really waiting for that Monday to see who among the two presidential candidates they are going to make the right decision for the country and look I can work with this person because they will bring development, or will I take this person because I trust him, regardless of what he has done before he can bring to the government. So it's a very a tricky time, and I'm really waiting for myself as well, so I can actually decide if I'm going to really also choose this guy as president or this guy as president.
The arithmetics of choosing the running mate are very tight and close. It's a matter of who brings in the largest basket of the votes, and as well playing the gender card, because if you see Kenya Kwanza pick a female deputy president, that would be a very big blow if Azimio picks a male candidate. So how are we seeing a scenario like here where the gender card as well is also playing a very big role, because one of the fronted candidates for the Kenya Kwanza is Anne Waiguru as well, who is a female, and you can see Martha Karua of Azimio la Umoja. All that's in one basket. You have seen the next, both presidential aspirants, both Ruto and Raila, are talking about we are ripe for a deputy president who is a female. We are ripe for a female leadership. Is it a bigger factor that we expect, to be a determining factor for who picks who?
Absolutely. I think, first of all, I think people have discovered that the deputy president position is not as it were before the vice president. That is why you see this time around, all the parties involved are very keen on whom they are going to pick. And yes, the gender card is definitely going to be a determining factor, because Kenyans are increasingly demanding and are aware that we need to have more inclusive leadership. We need to go for ladies in various positions, and definitely Karua and Anne Waiguru come from the same county actually. So it will be a factor, and if I am hoping that if Raila could choose Karua and maybe William Ruto could choose Waiguru, that would be a defining moment for this country, where we give space to women leadership, and actually not just at the bottom, this is the second in command. So definitely it will be a factor, and it will make your team more attractive to the women and give more confidence as they even vote for you.
Okay, yes. What do you take of the gender factor, rather the gender card, in regards to making sure that we compete both on the numbers, the gender cards, as well as a person who has a national image of being a politician?
Okay, on the gender card, I think on the first thing, let me talk about what my two friends were talking about, the aspirants. Me, I'm a candidate. So the aspirant was saying something like the panel Mara is just to change someone, so to transfer the blame. So I'm a young entrepreneur and I'm a chairman of We Forest International. What I can say, when we are selecting people who are going to work for our organization, we choose the best, irrespective of the gender, color, race, or anything. So this is a country, this is not a family issue where you choose somebody you can work comfortable with. I can give you a scenario. Let's say, even in Kirk TV, when they are choosing people to work with, they are not looking for someone, a friend or a relative or someone you have worked with. You check on experience. So this also back on the gender issue. As being a young entrepreneur, I have so many businesses across the country. When I'm choosing someone who is going to look after this business, like right now we have a lot of vacancies, and as per now I'm sponsoring up to 23 students in high school. And when we are choosing these people, we don't check on gender or anything. We check on merits and all that. So I want to say, like, if experience and merit and all these empower on someone who is not a female or who is a female or a male, let them choose the best person who is going to serve us. Let's not back on gender or ethnic or anything. Let's go for someone who is going to save this country.
But really, do you think, are we right for female, top leadership such as that of deputy president?
I think we are ready. We are ready, and it would be my wish for us to have a vice president who is a female, because if you check globally, we have really shifted to gender equality, and it's time for us to really have a vice president who is a female, as far as they qualify for that position, because you will see if one of the two sides votes for nominates a vice president who's a female and the other side doesn't, you will see a shift in political allegiance from the female women in the country, because I think it's time for us now to really stand and give women a chance for us to move forward as a country. And as my friend is saying, as far as it's not about family, I think when you put women in leadership, things move forward. And I think it's time we're ready as Kenyans to have a female vice president.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Lucky, just coming back to you. I'm just looking at a scenario where one of the coalitions, such as Kenya Kwanza, say they go for somebody like Kithure Kindiki, which again has been fronted so much to be, the deputy president for William Ruto, and Azimio la Umoja goes for Martha Karua. Look at these two candidates; both come from the Mount Kenya, though different regions of Mount Kenya. But in that scenario, do we see a certain direction of voters, being able to shift their grounds? For instance, you can see Deputy President William Ruto has been grounded as a leading candidate in the Mount Kenya region, but he goes for Kithure Kindiki. Well, for Raila Odinga to be able to place himself at par with the Deputy President, goes for Martha Karua. In such a scenario, do we see the coalition with the female candidate taking the lead, taking the biggest share of the Mount Kenya region, or rather we will go with the normality that this person is suitable for this position?
I think I want to agree with Ireri and Victor. It is a balance between who brings in the votes and the best candidate. The difference between this one is that when you are interviewing somebody for a job, for example, to be the CEO of Kirk TV, you are interviewing somebody you don't know, don't know the track record. You are interrogating their CV and so many other things. Here we are actually looking at people who their track record we are already aware of. We already know their CV. We know what they have done for this country. So that is where the difference comes in. The issue about Martha Karua and Kithure Kindiki. Kithure Kindiki comes from Tharaka Nithi. Karua comes from Kirinyaga. So you will see that is the other end of Mount Kenya. So the effect here will just be the gender card. And I would assume that if you look at the three leading candidates now, I don't know if that is it. You see there's one lady here and one lady here. Mm-hmm. I would assume that if Raila Odinga goes for Martha Karua, William Ruto would definitely go for Anne Waiguru, who comes from the same county. So the issue about Kithure Kindiki is somebody who complements the deputy president in demeanor, in skill, and other attributes. He's somebody who complements the nature of the deputy president. He's not overbearing. He's somebody who has a lot of experience, and also he comes out as somebody who you can actually trust. Yeah.
And coming to you, Okelo, you can see everything how it's playing out. You can see the Martha Karua and Waiguru factor, as well as the Kithure Kindiki. But again, they have to look at someone who has a national image of being a politician as well, and that of being a leader. If you look at the certain circumstances that have been placed as of now, what do you take of the candidature of Martha Karua and that of Anne Waiguru?
Okay, the candidature of Martha Karua and Anne Waiguru. As far as I'm concerned about the politics of this nation, Martha Karua being the deputizing Raila Amolo Odinga, the fifth, and Anne Waiguru deputizing William Ruto Samoei, I think it will be a good outlook to the country that we are involving female. But there are other positions that we can place these people. As far as I'm concerned, the country now, like the entire world, it's becoming feminine. there's no that male part of it. Yesterday I was reading an article, and most men are dying than female. Male, like even you can see the designs of cars. It's more feminine than male, masculine. I can say it, something like that. So they are championing for female. I thank God all these are men. And I'm a young person, they are a bit older than me. And let's say if I'll be so lucky enough to see the next century, maybe I won't be useful. But I believe if we start this way, the male will have lost that masculinity. As you can see day by day, not that I'm against female, but we are men. We have to stand for what belongs to us. I'll be so happy enough seeing, let me give you an example. I'll be so happy enough seeing a man like me going to buy it's called a pickup, rather than a Mercedes-Benz designed to be a feminine. So I just want men to champion for their menship.
And you're talking about men to champion for their leadership, but the two aspirants have been able to say that we are ready for a female deputy president, and they are also championing. If you can see, like he talked about the chemistry of a presidential aspirant with his or her deputy, you know, and some time back you did some analysis in regards to what led to the fallout between Deputy President and President Uhuru Kenyatta. They are not political allies. They were not people who had a very good chemistry. They just people who came together to work. But now you realize even Deputy President himself understands that for me to be able to work efficiently as a president, I need a Deputy President whom we have a chemistry, whom we have a very good understanding. And as you can see, Martha Karua is a one candidate that has a very good understanding with the Right Honorable Raila Odinga.
Yes.
And as well, as you can see, you know, on the Kenya Kwanza side, as well as Anne Waiguru being also a very close confidant of William Ruto, despite, you know, being playing hide and seek at first, but they have been very good and very close. Again, that is something that you cannot refute. That as much as there is a push for male deputy president,
yes,
there is also this new
female part.
That the female aspect has come, and it has come much stronger. So I don't know whether you would buy to the fact that as we stay right now, the chances are 70% would be having a female deputy president.
Okay, according to me, in the 9th August general election, I don't see the chances of 70% female president. I still believe it will be male. Yeah, maybe they will, but not now. There's that option. There's that option of getting a female president, and getting numbers. You know, politics is all about numbers. We want to get the seat. Let us seek the political kingdom first, and the rest shall follow. So these people is looking for the best person who is going to help him deliver the seat. Like Raila looks for the best candidate. It's called Ruto. Ruto is looking for the best candidate. But for the female, I've tried. I can't see if they can help us deliver the...
Just coming to you, Ireri, we've heard what is talked about, but it's a matter of wait and see, because if both candidates go for female running mates, that means regardless of whatever, we must have a female deputy president. Hopefully, after they have announced the running mates, so you will be back here, and I will seek to understand what you will be saying. But coming to you, Ireri, just switching gears now and coming into the national image of politics, we've seen different parties have outlined their way of working. Like the Kenya Kwanza has picked the economy to be its first task, and narrowing down to the aspirants themselves. As an aspiring member of parliament, there's so much that needs to be fixed on the you can say for you on the constituency level before even we talk about the presidential race. So as you also follow the national image where the Kenya Kwanza says economy, the Azimio la Umoja talks about reviving an economy that has gone down for quite some years. How prepared are we as a nation, and also even as our aspirants towards the August polls?
I would say I really want to approach these elections and try to educate our people on the sense of we need to do civil education as far as elections are concerned, because everyone now is focused on the two races. They're forgetting that we need for us to develop as a country, we got a new constitution. Constitution, and under the constitution dispensation, we have county governments, and in county governments they will be led by a member of county assembly, and for the national level, we are going to be led by a member of parliament. So those two people are very critical in development of any township or constituency or ward, because once elected, whoever wins, Blackie's guy, my colleague's guy here, whoever wins the elections, the county government will receive their funds. The national, the CDF, as a member of parliament, I will receive my fund. So it's very important for us now to really focus. Who are you electing as your MCA? Who are you electing as your member of parliament? And as much as we want to look at the outlook of the national outlook of how the elections are shaping up, we will see that whoever voted for the current presidency of Mr. William Ruto and His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, and whoever voted for the Prime Minister Raila Odinga, both the MCAs and the Prime Minister, the Member of Parliament, they get their funds. They get their funds. What development agenda are they bringing? So for me, I want us to approach this election on the sense of, let's not look at, yes, it's very important for us to really check who the president is going to be and the national outlook, but it's also, I would want to urge Kenyans right now, let's look at your ward. What kind of MCA are you voting? Are you voting someone who's just driven by the national politics, or is driven by the development of your ward? Are you voting for a member of parliament in your constituency who is going to bring development, and he has the people's agenda, the people agenda driven for the constituency, or he's looking at the national election outfit? And I'm glad me vying for Naivasha constituency member of parliament under the National Vision Party, we didn't have any pre-election coalition or agreement with any of the two leading coalitions. It's because I believe once we get elected, we go to parliament, I'll be able to sign a coalition post-election agreements, because my agenda will be driven by the people of Naivasha constituency. So I'll want us to look that way, and let's also dig deeper with the kind of aspirants that we are voting for or electing, so that to represent us either in the county assembly or in the national assembly.
Mm-hmm. And Blackie, you've heard what he's talked about, and even as we look at the national outlook of our preparedness to the general election, that is choosing the alignment and setting the agenda for the next government. As well, we narrow down now to the the constituencies and the county assemblies. From where we began after devolution and the new constitution, that is 2013. People didn't understand that how important the member of county assembly is, because they couldn't get the good picture. But now you understand that the member of county assembly, far from the president, is your immediate helper, who is supposed to make sure that development narrows down to right in the village. From where you sit, are we prepared for quite a good election and good choices as compared to the previous elections?
Most definitely, yeah. I think the people of Kenya have an opportunity on the 9th of August to choose the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And that would be in all levels. And I agree with the lady. We have put so much focus on the top, and forgetting that the member of county assembly and the governor are very, very important for our lives. Most of the functions, I think it's the 4th schedule of the Constitution, most of the functions are actually with the county government. Talk about water, roads, hospital, healthcare, markets. All those functions are with the MCA. And people are increasingly becoming aware that you need to elect a very good MCA. An MCA will go and push for resources to come to your ward, which is the smallest unit, elective unit in all of the countries. And this is your most accessible leader. So I would want to urge the Kenyans to look at their MCA very critically. They choose an MCA who has demonstrated that they are able to deliver even after they are elected. An MCA, for example, here in Nairobi, an MCA will not go to the county assembly to flex muscles and will be seen when they are doing impeachments and all those monkey business. An MCA who will be able to actually give hope to the young people, create jobs by, for example, me. We have so many unemployed youth at the moment, and I want to go and champion at the county assembly to have programs that will give the youth employment directly from the office of the MCA. So we should not put so much focus. I know the national government is important, and it is very, very important. But we should not forget to look at your MCA and your MP. Your MP who gets direct resources from the National Treasury in terms of CDF and the carer fund, probably around 100, and by next financial year it will be clocking almost 200 million shillings per financial year. You need to look for somebody who will take care of your resources, somebody who will do community-based programs, who will do public participation to know what you want and actually deliver on his promises. So we have an opportunity on the 9th of August to actually look at the people we are electing very critically. So sisi kwa UDA tunasema kazi ni kazi. We are ready for bottom up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, look, you're talking about being a young aspirant in, and getting into a ward that is not so much easy, a very competitive ward as well, Nairobi CBD ward. You as an aspiring member of parliament, you've seen the pattern that has been in 2013, 2017, as you step into this particular, election, August 9. What are some of the factors that you feel, or rather think, narrow down to the county assemblies?
Okay, the reason why I went for the county assembly. First, there is the Nairobi bylaws. They have never been changed since independence. If you read them very critically, and there is no MCA even is aware of them. I went and read up. The MCAs are totally unaware of these things. As my friend Blackie has said, there is high rate of unemployment. Wanasema kazi ni kazi. Hata ile ya kunyang'anya watu simu town, kazi ni kazi. But there is a lot of kazi huko nje, and that's why I don't agree with them. I've lost almost to 3 phones in town because kazi ni kazi, and they promote that. So I am coming up as a young person, and nimeona it's not. I help people by day, not that I help a lot of people. Not that I'm waiting to be elected to help people. Unajua hii kitu kama uko na chance ya kusaidia mtu, it's good you help. I was telling you I'm sponsoring 23 people in high school. And right now we're employed up to 18 people who are earning monthly salary. And 6 people earning a daily salaries. You see? So I don't have to wait for me to be in the county assembly to give out bursaries, to wait for that fund. With the little I have, I'm trying to get away. So I'm asking my friends, I don't know what they are doing. In fact, right now I have vacancies. I can even slot for them some 3 they go and campaign with. They can go and campaign with like they are doing this to the youth. So I'm trying to challenge all the leaders, more so MCAs. MCA is so key. This is a person you are talking to on a daily basis, most accessible person. And Nairobi Central Ward needs a lot of change. Kuna kazi ya tuhitaji pale town, kama kuiba simu and all that. There are so many things we need to eliminate in that town. We need to make Nairobi have the Nairobi we want. Nairobi tutakavyo. That's my nini. Kijana Kanairo, Nairobi tutakavyo. Thank you so much, Biblis.
And you're talking about changing Nairobi.
Yes.
There are some things that are have been there before. Yes. And even from the state of Nairobi, and Blackie can also agree because he's also vying in Nairobi. Nairobi is a county that is the capital city, and has proved to be challenging in terms of managing its leadership. And like other counties where the structures are very clear, Nairobi has proven to be very difficult, to sort out its own issues. But we're talking about a ward that is not only out of the city, but on the center of the capital city. As you talk about, Kijana na Kanairo and changing of things, what are the major factors that you think voters should line up to vote for a candidate who is vying for that ward?
Okay, first thing, somebody who was being a young person and the little I've done as per now, it can be seen as compared to other people. So, and me, I'm not waiting for the funds. You know, it's roughly, funds will come. I want to help people at the center of power now. When I can broaden, now we can help more people. You know, it's so challenging to work in Nairobi Central Ward. I'm told like there's too much cartels. I've met so many of them. It's too much hell in Central Ward, the CBD, because this is where the Central Bank of Kenya is, the Senate, the Parliament, KICC, everything is here. The key functions of power, the biggest market and all that. So it's really challenging, but they cannot stop me from empowering young people and women, which I'm doing even right now. Championing for climate justice. Issue sorting with waste management. You know, the Nairobi has the sewage system is for 1970 something. There's something they can't stop me, no matter how many cartels are. And people will see this. The first 100 days and the 5 years, they'll see the changes I will be able to make. Yes.
Lucky, just narrowing down to the South C ward. I'm trying to narrow down because in the respective areas there are different, aspects. Even as you vice for Nairobi Central Ward and you vying in South Sea, quite different, even though both are in Nairobi County. And just to understand, before you even begin to seek election, to be elected as the member of county assembly, you've been there before. You've seen what has been happening. As for you, even as we prepare for the next general election in August, as an aspiring member of county assembly, what do you think should be a change as we head to the August polls?
Thank you very much. Narrowing down, I've vied before, and I vied in 2017. I lost very narrowly. They say there's no number 2 in politics, but mine was very, very close. Very few. And as I want to agree with Victor, we need to change the laws, the bylaws of this county, and we need to. What happens, I think for me, a legislator, an MC is a legislator, apart from the other things we're supposed to do in the ward. What do you do when your MCA has not spoken in Parliament? He has not presented any petition. He has not sponsored any bill. He has not done anything constructive inside the chambers of the county assembly. So we need to really critically look at the people we are electing, because somebody may have some shortcomings. They are not able to comprehend the weight and the magnitude and the responsibilities they have been given by the Mwananchi. So we need to look for somebody, as we vote, let's look at somebody who's wholesome, somebody who's development oriented. You know very well, after I lost in 2017, I worked with the MP of the area MP, Honorable Nixon Korir, in his CDF. I was the chairman for the bursary subcommittee. I have chaired the roads committee in Langata, and we've been able to do so much work. So I have been able to understand the challenges that are there in my area and the whole of Langata. So the uniqueness of South Sea is that we have a balance of the middle class and the people, the business, small scale business people. So mine is to actually look for that balance. As we fix the roads, we make sure that the people in the estates have security. We ensure that they have clean, regular supply of drinking water in their taps. I was born here in Nairobi. In the 90s, we did not have these, we were not investing in plastic tanks. There was water. The only tank which was there was around 100 liters on top of the bathroom. But now you find that we have invested in can tanks and everything, because there's no supply of water. As Victor has said, the pipes that supply us with water were put there in 1970 when the population was small. The water that is pumped from Dakaini, by the time it gets to the user, we have lost 40% of that water through seepage and other illegal connections. 60%. There's a lot of inefficiency, and people are not addressing that. We cannot address the challenges of water if we don't look at those small things. So issues about markets and all that. So I would say that we want to drive change inspire people, empower people, and have a common vision, a shared vision with the people of South Sea, where we can be able to do public participation, respect each other, and actually deliver on our mandate. Yeah.
We're coming to you, really. Of course, you're going for the member of parliament, which is a bit, you could say, a more bigger position than the member of county assembly, but all the same, it's a legislative position as well as that of the member of county assembly. That gap that has been there between the member of parliament as well as the people of the respective constituency. You are seeking to vie as a member of parliament for Naivasha constituency, and there is so much to bridge in between you and the members of that particular constituency. Looking at the national agenda of respective candidates is the economy. The economy has been dwindling. So for you, as you even seek to be elected, what are some of the, I wouldn't say measures, but some of the arithmetics that you put in place that your leadership, or rather what you're seeking, syncs with the national agenda that is of reviving the economy?
Me vying for Member of Parliament for Naivasha constituency, as we all know, Naivasha is a very sensitive constituency when it comes to election. We have over 100,000 voters, registered voters, and Naivasha has been marginalized for a very long time. If you look at the current leadership, and actually for the last 2 decades, the last 20 years, we have never had a Member of Parliament who has brought real changes to the people of Naivasha, because it's the same case scenario, because you see Naivasha people come from all places in the country. But now we have indigenous candidate like myself who has been born and raised in Naivasha constituency. And if you look at the problems in Naivasha, or the challenges that have been there for the last 20 or 30 years, actually since I was born, is the same challenges. If you look, for instance, the instance of water, if you align it with the national agenda of for the vision at 2030, you will see Naivasha is a strategically placed town within the city of Nakuru, and there's so much we have. That we can develop our economy. We have a lake, freshwater lake. We can be able to, for instance, do fishery. We've been able to see a very big market being opened by the national government, which is impending, which is under construction. We have a very vast land that we can bring industrialization. That's the town like Maimahio. There is a SGR that is stopped by Kedong. Under my leadership, I want to make sure that train comes up to Naivasha town, because you have seen, witness, Naivasha should be is a tourist hub. We have a freshwater lake that we can be able to make a very great tourist destination. And when I say tourist, I mean people from outside the city, and to bring those revenue that we need. And we can see also in Naivasha there's a lot of unemployment, yet we have a lot of we have stones, we have quarries, we have good road infrastructure. All the people that come transverse from the country to the other end of the country pass through Naivasha's town, and you witness, you bear me witness, you will see the town has been stagnant for quite a while because of the poor leadership that we'll be having in Naivasha constituency. So I want to bring development in Naivasha in terms of the needs of the people. Everyone, if you see in any part of the country, they will be seeing about water, they will be seeing about electricity, they will be seeing about employment. But how do we create that kind of environment? I mean, employment. I believe by listening out to the people of Naivasha, which I've been doing quite a lot, I believe that it's time for us now to bring in new leadership, that we are going to make sure that there is equality as far as bursaries are concerned. There is equality as far as employment is concerned. You'll find somebody born in Naivasha. There's companies in Naivasha, for instance, which I want to really mention, because I really not want to, under my leadership, I don't want to really to politicize some issues that are not supposed to be politicized. But it's good to say that Naivasha has been sidelined for so long, and it's time for Naivasha people to wake up and see the people that are going to bring change. We have been told about employment. There have been complaints about people being employed from outside the constituency, yet there's a lot of jobs that belongs to the constituency. And I believe there is a law that says that 30% of people should be employed in the constituency that they're born and raised, or they live in. And I want to make sure that the agenda of water is once I've already sorted out. I've done my research on where Naivasha people are going to get water, not only for consumption, but also for irrigation. We have seen, anyone can attest the fact that if you look someone by their dental features, somebody will tell you this is the person is from Naivasha. As much as I want to bring more water and make sure that every household has water, there's also water for irrigation, I also want to make sure that I bring, which is my vision, and I've been saying, I want to make sure that I bring the biggest dental hospital in Naivasha, and in the future it can be a dental school, because once I sort the issue for dental and I don't sort the issue for water, which there's a research, I have a team of researchers which have been conducting on how we're going to resolve the issue of water, and those are the small speck of water I want to bring the change in Naivasha, because we have been told over and over and over and over about the changes that we need, and I believe it's time for us. I remember we have been told before we are the leaders of tomorrow, and I believe tomorrow is now. As much as my colleague is saying we are older than him, I think we're in the same age group. We are not that old. It's time for us to really lead Naivasha constituency and make it great, because I believe under my leadership, Naivasha will never be the same again, and I'll bring those changes as far as development is concerned.
Okay, and even as we also, come probably in the closing minutes of this discussion, the national picture is that we are going to a general election that is not just a general election, but will be one that is very stiff competition as well, and you can see already even the political temperature is rising. As we conclude the Blackie on your end, as you look at the national picture of our politics, and in all aspects, are we prepared for a peaceful and transition that will be very smooth?
Most definitely. Uhuru Kenyatta's time is up in the next few days, and we have seen other presidents hand over peacefully. We've had a peaceful transition. As I alluded, as we started, the elections that are coming are very decisive, and it's a revolutionary moment for this country, where you know that since 1992, there are two families who have vied in each and every election. 1991, we had Moi vie against Jaramogi. 1997, it was Raila Odinga against Daniel Moi. 2002, it was Uhuru Kenyatta against Kibaki. 2007, Raila Odinga versus Kibaki. 2013, it was Uhuru Kenyatta now versus Raila. 2017 twice, Uhuru Kenyatta versus Raila. I think this is a moment that Kenyans need to really watch. And this is a moment to change the normal way we've been doing things. A moment to get one person who has not been in that category to be our president. A moment whereby we will give hope to people whose fathers' names are not known, to give hope to our mothers that when they give birth to children, they can be somebody in this country. I believe in the William Ruto presidency. I believe in his philosophy. I believe in the bottom-up approach of doing things that will create employment for our youth. I believe that we need to empower our businessmen with equipment, with capital, our youth with skills, so that they can be self-employed. We need to go into manufacturing to create jobs. We need to have good laws that will lower the food prices, lower the fuel prices in this country. So I believe that Kenyans have already decided who their president will be in their minds, and they are just waiting to confirm that one on the 9th of August.
Now, I was listening to you talk, and you are talking exactly as the deputy president in his exact words, actually. I don't know whether it's a copy and paste agenda, but as well, I think that's a good summation. And just coming to you, Kelo, even as we conclude, we are heading to the general election, and everything is all set, and the political temperatures are already rising, and the sides are already decided, even in my panel here as well. So as we conclude, and on your part, are we prepared fully for the August polls?
Yes, as for me, we are totally prepared fully. And you know, I'm choosing hope over faith towards this election. As I can tell my friends, the government can't solve all the problems, but just a slight priority on the key areas. So, as we are going to vote, let's look for a leader who is championing for climate justice. There is a lot of climate injustice going on in the country and the global at all. So I'm asking everyone out there, let's vote for someone who is addressing climate justice, so that we'll be so lucky enough to see the next century, so that our children will be so lucky to live a happy and life in the future. Thank you so much. God bless.
Right, and Iredi, as we come to you as well, and as you make your remarks as well.
Yeah, I think we are ready as Kenyans, and I'm glad that I'm hopeful. I've always considered myself a prisoner of hope that Kenyans now, they have opened their eyes. They know what they need as a leader to lead. I mean, the leaders they need. And as you witness on 9th of August, you will see now Kenyans will no longer be voting for people or leaders because based on which party they affiliate themselves with. Kenyans will be voting for leaders who will bring the development to their door. And I urge Kenyans, let's educate each other. Let's do some more civic education to our people and educate them the needs when it comes to election. We are not only voting for our president. We are also voting for the people who brings the development to their doors, which is their MCAs and their MPs. And let's make sure that the people that you are voting, they are people that has the best interest of their constituency or their wards. And as much as everything happens, and I would urge Naivasha people to give me their votes, and the rest of of Kenya, let's choose peace. After 9th of August, elections will pass and go. I'll remain with Blackie here and my friend here. Kirk TV will remain, there's Mamboga down there, will remain as my neighbor. So let's maintain peace and also open our eyes and choose leaders this time and not politicians. People that are going to bring development to our door. And that's my take on this.
I think that is a very good conclusion, very strong statements on the conclusion. I think Blackie outlined everything to do with Kenya Kwanza and the William Ruto manifesto, as well as the young aspirant of Victor Okello as well. And I hope and I wish you all the best as well, even as you continue with the campaigns. Blackie is around, so we can tunaweza patana tu mahali akisema Kenya Kwanza. Yeah, thank you so much, gentlemen, for making time this morning to come here and be able to talk out national matters to do with politics, as well as the respective agendas in your different aspiring locations. I'm grateful you made time for this morning. On my near right is Blackie. He's a member of County Assembly. Doni Langata Blackie is a member of County Assembly aspiring for South Sea Ward in Langata constituency. And Francis Ireri Nyaga, who is on his near right, is a member of Parliament aspirant for the Naivasha constituency. And then on the far right is Victor Okello, who is a member of County Assembly aspirant of the Nairobi Central Business District Ward, that is in Starehe constituency in Nairobi County. Thank you so much for making this time to have this discussion this morning. And that is where we wind up our discussion this morning in regards to the state of national politics. And before we take a very short commercial break, I want to leave you with a Kenyan perspective. This week we focus on what Kenyans think of the running mate position, even as the presidential aspirants take the seat back and be able to name their running mates. So this is the Kenyan perspective, and we take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Just a few days to the general elections this year, we are here at Nairobi to talk to some of the Nairobi residents to know whether they have at least a glimpse of what is going to happen in the 2022 general elections. Now joining me are some of the residents with some of their views.
Ai baba anafaa achukue Kalonzo. Kalonzo atamfaa. Waiguru tunampenda lakini kwa wakati huu wacha kwanza achukue Dede Nyoro. Juu huyo anajua nini mambo ya serikali sana.
Mamba wacha achukue Kalonzo juu alikuwa deputy president wa Kenya. Juu hajafika hiyo kiwango.
Sasa hiyo kama leo sasa hivi kura zingepigwa leo. Unafikiri kana kwamba IEBC imejipanga vilivyo kukabiliana na kura kwa sababu sasa hivi
wamekaribiana?
Wako sawa
Wako sawa. Kama walisimamia hii uchaguzi wa UDA nomination tukaona ilikuwa mzuri.
Apart from Ruto na Raila. Unajua aspirant gani wa president?
Mogwairia. 49. Huyu mwingine anasimama na chama ya ng'ombe anaitwa nani? Wengine si wakumbuki mimi.
From the look of things, up to now Kenya has not been led by a woman. Yeah, maybe the president, the deputy president. So I think that if Waiguru could win the hearts of women, yeah, at least the UDA can rise up. Yeah, and maybe I think Waiguru is the best for Ruto.
Viongozi sisi kama wananchi tunaangalia mainvestment ambayo inakuja. Ule mtu ambaye anaweza tusaidia. Unaona? Kiangalia mtu kama Kibaki tulimsifia juzi hapa sana. Aliweza kuinua uchumi.
Tuweza patia Kalonzo.
Sasa kwa Raila unafikiri ni Kalonzo?
Ni Kalonzo.
Upande wa Ruto utampatia?
Anapatia Wetangula.
Okay.
Nampatia Weta.
Unafikiri kwamba IEBC imejitayarisha vilivyo kwa uchaguzi ambao unakuja hapo watu wataiba kama tuwezekana?
Kura. Ukiangalia venye mambo iko kwa serikali ya Kenya, wanakuwa chagua rais tayari. Kwa hivyo sisi tukipiga kura, si hata kura kwa si lazima iamue.
Unaona kama wataiba
Kuiba inaweza ibiwa. Sababu tushazoea, sababu hata wanapiga kura mwingine ameshinda, bado unapata wengine umepiga kura imeibiwa, lakini bado mwenye abiba ndo wanapatiwa.
Well, as we head to the general elections this year, those are just some of the views of the residents from Nairobi who claim that right now they think that the IEBC is quite evidently ready for the process. And they still claim that some of the running mates that do not fit some of the candidates that who need to run for various posts like the presidential aspirants, some like Charity Ngilu, maybe Martha Karua, Kalonzo, will be fit for the process. Reporting for Kirk TV from Nairobi, I'm Dennis Munene.
Between my arms, barefoot on the grass, we're listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling. You look perfect tonight. I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own.
Esteemed Kirk TV viewer, greetings all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Praise be to God. This Sunday, the 15th of May 2022, Kirk TV in conjunction with PCEA Kajiado Presbytery, Olosios Parish in the family of Reverend Nelson Nganga, invites you for an induction service at PCEA Olosios Church. We invite you to this special service as Reverend Nelson Nganga gets inducted to serve Christ in ministry. The service will be presided over by the moderator Kajiado Presbytery, Reverend John Shangari, and will be live on Kirk TV from 9 a.m. Tune in to Kirk TV on Signet, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube to fellowship with us.
So catch Fit to Live every Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Together, let's have fun, get fit, and stay healthy. My name is Aida Munzati. I'll be your host for this show. Remember, your health always matters.
Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass. We're listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling. You look perfect tonight. Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone. my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. We are still kids, but we're so.
Esteemed Kirk TV viewer, greetings all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Praise be to God. This Sunday, the 15th of May 2022, Kirk TV, in conjunction with PCEA Kajiado Presbytery, Olosios Parish in the family of Reverend Nelson Nganga, invites you for an induction service at PCEA Olosios Church. We invite you to this special service as Reverend Nelson Nganga gets inducted to serve Christ in ministry. The service will be presided over by the moderator Kajiado Presbytery, Reverend John Shangari, and will be live on Kirk TV from 9 a.m. Tune in to Kirk TV on Signet, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube to fellowship with us.
So catch Fit to Live every Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Together, let's have fun, get fit, and stay healthy. My name is Aida Munzati. I'll be your host for this show. Remember, your health always matters.
All right, and welcome back to Kirk TV in the morning. And if you're joining us live right now, remember we are streaming live on Facebook at Kirk TV Kenya and YouTube at Kirk TV Kenya. And we continue with our program this morning. And as we always do on our weekly segment of entrepreneurship, we do different things. But this week, I want us to switch gears and talk on matters that aid you to be able to get into a position that you can be able, to proceed and do your businesses and everything as you want. And that is we talk about bridging the gap on the justice system. And I will welcome my guest in studio. On my near right is Susan Cherono from Eseriani, and we'll be talking about the same in regards to the Legal Awareness Week, and which seeks to bridge the gap in getting justice. And the far right is Benedict Oduor, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Welcome to the program this morning on Kirk TV. And remember, you can send in your feedback so that we can be sampling in as we continue with this program. And just to begin this discussion and to base the discussion is that the reason you're here is because of the legal aid activation program that is set to happen, educating the people on different aspects of justice. That is bridging the gap for people to be able to understand how they can get justice, how they can be able to be part and parcel of this particular process. I just want to begin with you, Benedict Oduor. What should we understand about the legal activation program?
Yeah, so first I'd like to appreciate Kirk TV for this opportunity, giving us the platform to come and, highlight our plight on what we undertake as Latewa CBO in collaboration with like-minded organizations like Seriani Place. So Latewa CBO is a duly registered youth-led organization that focuses on community-driven interventions to solve day-to-day societal challenges facing the local community members. We understand that, for example, South B, where Latewa CB operates, South B, we understand that South B is in the industrial area, which is a highly industrialized place. So with high industrializations comes a lot of disparities in the economic and social field. So Latewa CBO comes to, works at the intersection with other stakeholders, what we call a multi-sectoral approach. So multi-sectoral approach meaning bringing different players in the playing field. For example, like-minded organizations like Esiriani, we have corporates, we have tertiary institutions, we have political representatives, we have embassies and high commissions. So the purpose of the legal aid activation, because under the ambit of the activities we undertake, we have social justice initiatives, we have environment conservation and waste management, we have water sanitation and hygiene for equity. So we have a raft of activities under Latewa CBO. So our aim with the legal aid activation program, it's going to act as a baseline or the bedrock now for subsequent activities. Because you all understand by activation, let's say for example you go by a Safaricom line or a network operator line. It can be Telcom, it can be Safaricom, Airtel. So by activating, meaning you register it officially so that you can start, working, communicating with the line. So by the activation, it's more of creating awareness and sensitization to local community members to know that access to justice is a very fundamental right that is close and dear to the people. So through the legal aid activation and in collaboration with like-minded stakeholders, we have three main thematic areas we are seeking to work on. We have climate action, justice policy, we have inclusivity and non-discrimination, so that is where Esiriani Place is going to fall in, because most of their mandate or programs are centered on women empowerment, and not just women, they also deal with teenage mothers, young school-going girls. So we have climate action, justice policy, inclusivity and non-discrimination. Then lastly, we have democratic governance. So all these topics shall be in relation to bridging the gap in access to justice for the marginalized and special groups in Kenya.
And just to get to understand the picture, because as well the gap in getting justice is one that affects both people, those in entrepreneurship, the economic aspect of it, and the social aspect of it. In that legal aid activation program, what are some of the things that people expect to understand, even as the people that are watching and want to also understand the legal aid activation program? What things and rather would they want to know?
So the legal aid activation program, our theme is bridging the gap in access to justice between the marginalized and special groups. So under that we have three main topics: climate action, justice, inclusivity, and democratic governance. So under climate action, justice, we are going to canvass what we call climate adaptation in relation to socio-economic development. We find that our communities, our constitution provides for public participation, which is a very fundamental concept of policy formulation, decision making, coming up with new legislative proposals to work on for public involvement. So under climate action justice, we are trying to sensitize the community so that they are aware of the role they have to play in terms of climate adaptation. So with climate adaptation comes waste management systems, because under our activities we also train the young teenage mothers and school-going girls in collaboration with the Seriani Place. So through that, people are able to understand, you know, sustainable methods of waste management. So it can be either through plastic recycling, making of copyrighted art pieces through discarded clothing garments. So under the climate adaptation aspect, those are some of the areas we seek to look at. Under the inclusivity and non-discrimination topic, we seek to have the conversation around equal access to opportunities. So equal access to opportunities is a multifaceted area. It can be access to opportunities in technology, access to decision-making opportunities, and other like-minded areas under the same topic. Then finally, under democratic governance, we seek to have the public enlightened to know their role, especially this being an election year. They have a role to play. So part of the civic education process, we have, you know, educating the local communities on how exactly they're supposed to be involved in the election matter through exercising their right to vote, taking part in public legislation forums to come up with legislative proposals. So in Kenya, it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, we have several avenues for channeling drafting of legislative proposals, several avenues where the public can be involved in the, you know, the lawmaking process. So it can be through an elected representative, either an MCA, an MP, or it can be through tabling the parliament directly, because that's also a provision in our constitution. You can come up with a legislative proposal, then you petition the speaker directly, highlighting the different areas we'd like them to come on board.
Okay.
So through the training, we seek to have people aware, sensitized, then now having the legal background, now coming with the advocacy perspective, coming up with policy formulations to make sure that the conversation is more of a long-term process than just, you know, a one-time affair, as it has been.
And you having laid out that foundation, I just want to bring in Susan Cherono, and where she comes in with the Seriani Place in regards to, you know, being part of the awareness and the sensitization of bridging the justice gap. And you talked about Seriani being an empowerment, you know, oriented organization, and putting in programs that empower mostly women. If I get that right. Just to put it into perspective, it's a legal aid activation program, and you as a Seriani, as you come into that particular, you know, program, what is some of the factors that you will be seeking, you know, or rather that you intend to make people understand?
Thank you so much. First of all, we don't only have women, we have children. Our organization is about orphan, vulnerable children and teenage mothers and women. So we empower them, we empower the children. Many of these children have gone through some sort of abuse. We usually take steps, you know, like to rescue some that need to be rescued. We have women who have gone through gender-based violence and they need justice. We have women who have been fired from their workplace without proper guidelines. So the reason why we are in this is because for us we have so many injustices that have happened in the slums, and we would want them to know that they can get justice for the injustices happened to them.
And it's quite a very inclusive program. I understand as well, because again, that justice gap is one that is very important if indeed we have to have a fair social and economic society. And in regards to the empowerment of women, and also coming in to be able to be part and parcel of the legal aid, is someone who perhaps would be watching and wondering right now, if I have to get into to come to this aid program, I need to understand different aspects.
Yeah.
So you talked about measuring with the women and children. So in that particular program, what will you be measuring on that anybody who is watching and perhaps feel that falls in their place, that they will be able to come and be able to grasp their understanding of bridging that gap?
Okay, maybe I can just add a bit and he'll continue. For us, our major issues are rape. There's so much rape, and some of these teenage mothers need justice for what has happened to them. They need support because they come from really poor backgrounds that right now they are struggling to take care of the child. And if they can get justice for these girls, then they can be able to go back to school and restore their dreams. If we are able to get justice for these girls, they're able to live a better life, and there's closure. For us, for our main aim in Eseriani is about the mental health of everyone. So if you're broken, if there's no closure for you for what happened, then you grow up to be an adult who's messed up. If we don't make those interventions for these girls, for these children who have gone through abuse, even through the hands of their parents, then that's why we are finding broken children doing all sorts of things and burning schools, killing, stealing. So for us, like part of the things we do at Eseriani is that we have workshops for children every holiday. We have the trainings for the girls and for the women, and empowerment. We are trying to make these people feel like they do belong, and they are people. They also are Kenyans, and they also deserve the best of their lives. And if we are able first to sort all the issues that they've been doing, they've been going through. For example, I had a lady who was dismissed from work, and the employer, she was a nanny, the employer took her to hospital and did the tests without her consent, without knowing what exactly she was looking for. She just told her, oh, a nanny needs to be checked for health and cholera and all that. But they were more like the HIV testing. So when they found out her status, she fired her immediately. You see, without the process that now this and that. So if justice can happen for such women, because they have children to take care of. Now she's under our program, we have to feed her. But if someone is hardworking and they want to feed her family, being fed now, it is really also brings down their esteem. So we really want justice for our people. Yeah.
So, like for Eseriani, do you now proceed to initiate the legal perspective of such victims, and seeking justice for them, or for you just take care of them?
We take care of them, but we want to take that next step. That's why we are partnering with the Latewa and other organizations, because we feel like we are fighting a battle alone. And I am not a legal representative. Why not partner with people who know how to go about it? And when they come for this the workshop, they will learn more, that I can get help from this one, I can help from this organization, and my issues will be sorted. Sometimes they just feel like they are helpless, that there's no one who is supporting them. They feel alone. That even if, like most of their cases, they reach to the chief level, and that's it.
And okay, would you want to complete?
They go to the chief, and the chief doesn't have the legal representation, or doesn't know from there what. So they try and sort it. So if a child has been raped and the victim and the molester is there, they try and see how can we negotiate. I had a case where a landlord raped a girl because the father has not paid rent. And you know, when they went to the chief, the landlord said, "Have you paid rent?" You know, it's like it's something so petty, and there is need for that child's justice for someone to fight for her. So that's why this will be very good, because if they know, if the few who will come know, then they'll go spread the word that there is help out there. You just don't have to suffer alone. Yeah.
Okay. And although she's talked about partnering with legal-oriented organizations such as the one that you are leading, as well, because she talks about the quest for justice being one that is very difficult, and if you are alone, especially for an organization that does not have the legal aspect of it, like the Seriani, and that is where you come in. But now, as well, even as you come in as well, you understand that is a gap that you, or rather a bridge that you have to cross in getting justice for such victims, or rather in seeking justice for them. So for Latewa, in partnering with such communities, the legal aspect of it, because you have to seek justice for these people, be it the such rape cases, dismissed workers from jobs, those that are businesses have been affected by this and that. As for the Latewa, legal organization, where do you come in, and where do you pick it from now for you to be able to ensure that we bridge this gap and get justice to such organizations that bring forward victims of illegalities?
So, as I had said earlier, Latewa seeks to bridge this gap through what we call a multi-sectoral approach. So through multi-sectoral approach, we bring on board different players, because access to justice is not just a one-person affair. Sure. It's a collective effort. So we seek to partner with stakeholders in the corporate field. We have medical practitioners, we have media like now Kirk TV. We'd like to acknowledge you and thank you for that. We have tertiary institutions, Strathmore, University of Nairobi, political representatives, Office of the Women Representative of Nairobi. We have local administration guided by the county commissioners, the chiefs. So Latewa is just at the intersection. So in our quest to bridge this gap, we have to be at the intersection. So when we are at the intersection, we are able to have access to all these stakeholders. So we understand that legal representation is not just about going to court. Our constitution also provides for alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. So as Susan has said, we have pressing issues like rape, defilement. So in our slum areas and the vulnerable communities, these are some of the most pressing issues. Rape, defilement. So cases like rape and defilement do not warrant an alternative dispute resolution mechanism, because they are things that infringe on the rights of the children directly under our Children's Act. So our Children's Act of 2005 provides that the rights of the children need to be interpreted in a more holistic approach with regard to the best interest of the child in whatever prevailing circumstance that is going. So Latewa comes in through legal representation. It can be direct, because the Children's Act, Article 25, provides for direct legal representation of these children. Or it can also be through alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, because we find that our judicial system is swamped up by backlog of cases. The resources are limited. So depending on the pressing issue, we can either do direct legal representation, or if it's a matter that warrants for alternative dispute resolution, we also pursue that that field. Yeah. Yeah.
And even as, because I also understand our minutes are rushing, just to, perhaps have the concluding part of it.
Yes.
And to understand the legal aid program week. For how long will the aid program be going? And for anyone who wants to come to that aid, what would they need, or how would they be able to be part of it?
So the legal aid program is scheduled to take place from Monday next week, 16th to 23rd, excluding the weekends. So it will be 16th to 20th, that's Monday to Friday. Then the final day will be on Monday 23rd. So that is a period of 6 days. So since we have 3 topics, it will be broken down to 2 topics per day. I mean 2 days for every topic. So the first 2 days will be talking about climate action justice and the plate of climate adaptation in relation to socio-economic development. Then the other 2 days will talk about inclusivity and non-discrimination. We will understand that our Constitution expressly provides for inclusivity and non-discrimination regardless of age, sex, gender, marital status, ethnicity. So now that's where the Eseriani place is going to come in, due to their diverse experience in working with children, women, teenage mothers. So we are seeking to have stakeholders who possess the requisite expertise in the different topics. So the training will take place at Tana and Athi River Development Authority Head Resource Center. It's located along Dundori Road, just here in South Bay, right next to the Daisies and Shartleaf headquarters. Yeah. So we also have our till number. I'll check and confirm it. So people can support through financial and logistical support. So financial can be through direct donations to, fund some of the training requirements. We also have logistical support through donations of books. We do book drives, sanitary pad drives, blood donation drives. So it's a whole wide area. So anyone wishing to take part can, come for that particular day. They can also register as members of Latewa or Seseriani. Through that, we also offer internship programs. Now that's where the tertiary institutions come in, trying to instill the culture of giving back at an early age through our tertiary institution, so that any person wishing to get involved is very welcome to take part in the project.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for you, Susan, as you also conclude, what would be your, remark for that legal aid program, and also as being part of the Seriani and focusing on your key areas? What would you tell the people that are watching you?
Okay, thank you. For the week, it will be very beneficial for everyone. Even if not only the people that we cater for, even for people out there to come and interact with people who are less fortunate, because sometimes people think they think that these people are lazy. They think that these people they don't want to work. That's why they are living in the slums. So sometimes when you interact and you listen to them and you talk to them, you find out that they are going through issues. Like some, you'll find that it's just a medical case that went bad, a botched medical case, and no one is fighting for them. Maybe a doctor will come in and say, well, I can assist, treat that person. Or if you find like basically the injustices that happen, someone else can give someone a job. So it's not only for those people who we cater for that this workshop can work for. It can work for everybody, and to learn more. Even not everybody knows about how to go about legally things. Yeah, so it will be beneficial to everyone, and that also interaction will also benefit, because we really need people to come in and just make. For us in Arteseriani, we really work towards inclusivity, acceptance, whatever you're going through, whether you're sick, you're you're mad or anything, we work towards including everybody and making everybody feel that they belong to this Kenya, they belong to this world, they belong to the one God we believe in here.
Okay, thank you so much for having to enlighten us about the legal aid program, activation program week, I would say week, because it goes for 6 days, and hopefully that it will be of great impact to the people that will be able to attend, and it's open for anybody, right? So it's if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an employee, you feel aggrieved, you can be able to attend and be able to understand what you need to know for you to get the justice that you deserve. And that is where we wind up this particular session. Thank you so much for making time this morning to come and elaborate and also, bring the aspect and the legal aspect, the community-based aspect of it. Thank you so much. Benedict Oduor is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and Susan Cherono is working with the Seriani Place community organization. Thank you so much for making time this morning. And that is where we wind up this session. But before we take a very short break, this week I want to leave you with the Health Nuggets segment, where we will be focusing on the expansion of the Kenyatta National Hospital. Yesterday, President Uhuru Kenyatta opening of the Zarina Daycare Center for kidney disease and organ transplant. That is what we have on our Health Nuggets this morning. We take a very short commercial break, but when we return back, it will be all matter of entertainment.
The Center for Kidney Disease and Organ Transplantation that we inaugurated today as well will enhance the Interlife program, a program whose objective is to revamp kidney transplantation services in our country. And it is notable that this facility here at Kenyatta National Hospital has to date performed over 200 kidney transplants under this program. Hongera. The Center for Kidney Disease and Organ Transplantation will also serve as a regional center of excellence in the management of kidney diseases for the entire East African region. This facility, which features 2 fully equipped theaters, a 17-bed capacity ward, a resource center, clinics, and seminar rooms, has been established at a cost of approximately 200 million shillings. With this facility in operation, our patients are no longer at risk of infections that could otherwise have interfered with preferred clinical outcomes. In this state-of-the-art center, any kidney transplant patient can receive post-transplant care and clinical reviews from a wide variety of specialists, regardless of where the surgery was done. The center's modern laboratory, a first of its kind in East Africa, will greatly support organ and tissue transplants by conducting donor and recipient matching locally here in its state-of-the-art laboratory. With this milestone, Kenyans will no longer depend on foreign laboratories for histocompatibility and genetic.
Esteemed Kirk TV viewer, greetings all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Praise be to God. This Sunday, the 15th of May 2022, Kirk TV, in conjunction with PCEA Kajiado Presbytery, Olosios Parish in the family of Reverend Nelson Nganga, invites you for an induction service at PCEA Olosios Church. We invite you to this special service as Reverend Nelson Nganga gets inducted to serve Christ in ministry. The service will be presided over by the moderator Kajiado Presbytery, Reverend John Shangari, and will be live on Kirk TV from 9 a.m. Tune in to Kirk TV on Signet, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube to fellowship with us.
Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, we're listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling. You look perfect tonight. Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. We are still kids, but we're so.
Let all the children come to me, do not hinder them. Fight him. Let all the children come to me, do not hinder them.
So catch Fit to Live every Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Together, let's have fun, get fit, and stay healthy. My name is Aida Munzati. I'll be your host for this show. Remember, your health always matters.
Esteemed Kirk TV viewer, greetings all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Praise be to God. This Sunday, the 15th of May 2022, Kirk TV, in conjunction with PCEA Kajiado Presbytery, Olosios Parish in the family of Reverend Nelson Nganga, invites you for an induction service at PCEA Olosios Church. We invite you to this special service as Reverend Nelson Nganga gets inducted to serve Christ in ministry. The service will be presided over by the moderator Kajiado Presbytery, Reverend John Shangari, and will be live on Kirk TV from 9 a.m. Tune in to Kirk TV on Signet, Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube to fellowship with us. Well, a very good morning to you, dear viewer. Thank you so much for tuning in to Kirk in the morning and staying this far. My name is Faith Kauli, and when you see me, you know that this is Turning on the Web segment. And without further ado, dear viewer, let's dive right into it. And let's start with some very good news for makeup and cosmetic lovers. The good news is that Fenty is coming to Africa. Fenty, for watu wa Nairobi, watu wa Dubois pale, it's Fenty. But anyway, Fenty is a beauty or cosmetic brand that was launched on September 2017 by Rihanna, the artist. Yes, and it is such a big deal because the brand is popular for its broad inclusivity across skin tones and gender, and the product is coming to Africa, specifically in Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Ghana, Namibia, South Africa, and Kenya, of course. And this is such good news, guys. And the good news was brought to us as by Rihanna herself on Twitter. When we have a look at her tweet, she posted this and she said, "I've been waiting for this moment at Fenny Beauty and at Fenny Skin are finally dropping in Africa. That is Botswana, Ghana, Kenya, Namibia, Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe. We're coming at you May 27th, and that's just the beginning." This means that there's more yet to come, and you guys, I'm excited. And in her other tweet, she also said that I've been waiting for the moment that Fenny Beauty and Fenny Skin are finally dropping in Africa, which of course she goes on to mention the countries that which are Botswana, Ghana, Kenya, Namibia, Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. And she says we're coming at you May 27th, and that's just the beginning. Well, people had a lot to say about this on Twitter, so let's look at some of the comments on Twitter. At Malata Malta says, "Fenny products are launching in Kenya. Now what were Dubois or Dubois are not understanding because they have been on that Fenny vibe since the launch." Yo, if you don't understand this tweet means that people have been buying fake Fenty products in Dubois potato, guys. But the bottom line is people have been buying fake Fenny, so they're wondering, "Hiya, kwani what have I been using?" Guys, if you think you have a Fenty product and you're in Kenya and you got it in Kenya, sorry to say, that's fake. That's fake. But the real deal is coming on the 27th of May. So keep it right here in the country. You will get yours. Just having a look at further of the tweets. At Magdalene says, "I'm so excited. Fenny Beauty is finally in Kenya. Can't wait to have a hold on their foundation." Well, yes, good things are said about their foundation. At Mulwa Dom says it's not the Dubois one, it's the real Fenny Beauty coming to Kenya. You guys, this is a huge deal. Still, Mulwa Dom says 27th May, Kenya will be painted #Fenny Beauty. And just to let you know which cosmetic shop will be retailing it is that Linton's Beauty has been selected as the official Fenty retailer in Kenya. Of course, guys are excited about this. As I said, only makeup lovers or cosmetic enthusiasts. But the thing with the Linton being selected as the retailer, let me mention both the good and the bad, is that one, you ensure that it's quality and it's genuine. But two, the prices. The prices, you guys, I can't wait to see how much they'll sell it for. But the good news is Fenty is finally in Kenya, and if you have been looking forward to use their product, you have a chance come May 27th. Of course, this was the beginning of a Twitter war between Kenyans and Uganda, because Uganda has not been selected. Fenty is not going to Uganda, it's coming to Kenya, guys. Now Kenya ni wachokozi because they started this war, and I'll definitely have a look at some of these tweets which were hilarious. That's how I'm saying it, not even hilarious, hilarious. I will start with at Highness1_ who says, "Ugandans this morning on their way to Cyber Cafe to tweet, someone hold me because I am losing, I am dying here with laughter, oh my goodness." And there's people there on motorcycles and they're going to the cyber. Oh God, what? Okay, let's have a look at the next tweet at Santra Mary, who says, "Ugandans on their way to purchase bundles to fight Kenyans." And the guys, oh my God, we are savage, because here's a guy with a wheelbarrow and cash and they're just going to buy bundles. Oh goodness. Okay, so this one got me laughing. At DJ Tricky the Boy, who says that it's enough Kenyans. And then there's like a photo there of what did the UJ shilling say to Kenyan one. Oh God. If you know the song, then you'd relate to this meme, because it's Sina Value Baby. It's a song. Oh my goodness, I'm holding my laughter, I'm trying so hard. Then there's another one who says, "Uganda diver on a rescue mission." Shady is what that photo is, very shady in fact. And at Kitty Hillary says, "Will you ever dare Kenyans again? Ugandans, no way, because walionyeshwa fire moto. It was like a Kenyans unite, let's go at war with the Ugandans and show them that we are the best." And nimewambia Kenyans ni wachokozi sana, because they did not only fight Ugandans but also Tanzanians. They weren't poking, they weren't looking for disease, they were like, tunawatafuta. Because here there is a tweet by Afya Center Crew who says, "Tanzanians want to join but they don't understand English." Language barrier right over there. And there's another one at Mahinda_Steven who says, "Tanzanians want to join but the white man died while transporting their English." I am dying with laughter. Let's just have a look at the last tweet, guys, before I lose it. Is at Paper Fiza, who says, "One country you don't joke with when it comes to Twitter wars is Kenya. Last time I abused Kenya, their own man tracked me down in Kampala and threatened to rape my goods." I'm telling you, drop my... if you want to go on Twitter war, do not pick Kenyans. Pick Tanzanians because English, South Africans or any other country, but Kenya, avoid. They will come united at you as a country and silence you. That aside, guys, that was a very key highlight for my week. In case you missed that Twitter war, use the hashtag Kenyans versus Ugandans. Follow up on the chat. Laugh it off, and you will really enjoy. Anyway, moving on to some good news right here in the country is that finally, the expressway will be open for public trial. This is tomorrow, the 14th of May, 2022. A lot of things have been said about the expressway, both negative and positive. Of course, we have seen beautiful images. If it's something that Kenyans have in plenty, is good photographers, because you look at photos of the expressway and you're like, is this Kenya? You know what I'm saying, but and Kenya has made it public, has announced, the toll rates or the charges that you'll have to pay from one station to the other, and of course the amount that you will incur in case of any damage caused. This is in case your car breaks down or in case you have an accident on the expressway. And the charges are scaring people off. But anyway, let's have a look at what Kenyans had to say right on Twitter about the expressway and the public trial that is coming up. That is tomorrow. And let's have a look at the first tweet, which is by Nahashan Kimeme, who says, "Dear rich people, the Nairobi expressway will start operating from 14th May 2022. Please use it. Fikeni Airport na Westi mapema. Reducing the cars below even by 20 or 30 cars every hour will help. Let us reduce traffic. Hii mambo being late for meetings inafaa kuisha." This is a tweet pleading to rich people because people or Kenyans on Twitter have been saying that expressway is for the rich. I don't know about that, but we will see how things go. The following tweet is by J.K. Njenga, who says, "Most journalists covering the Nairobi expressway seem to have bought the narrative that it will end traffic jam in Nairobi. It won't, because it is based on wrong assumptions. Here is just one of them, that everyone who approaches Nairobi from Dolongo wants to go to Kangemi." And I'm like, yeah, that's something we haven't thought about. You guys go and look at this thread where he talks about how the Nairobi expressway won't help in ending traffic. And I'm like, okay, makes sense, but let's wait and see how things will flow. See what I did right there? How things will flow. Anyway, let's have a look at the next tweet by Goldfish PR, who says, "The Nairobi Expressway opens for dry test runs this month. Congrats. The Nairobi Marathon gave us all a good look-see into the road's beauty. Underneath an older road, we see it's chaotic and unprofessional. Why didn't the planners make proper drainage?" And I'm like, a lot has been said about that. I hope something will be done. Atom Falme says, "The mess in this regime has no bounds. How can such critical clause of Mombasa Road restoration be lack in Nairobi Expressway deal? This seems deliberate by design as opposed to oversight, probably to force commuters into the upper deck or creation of an opportunity to eat," of course in quotes again. In case you don't know what he's referring to, there's an image right there that, shows you the state of the road, the Kawaida road that was being used, the Mombasa road. And it is saying that when the construction of the expressway was ongoing, the road was damaged because things are falling here and there. And there has been no repairs. We're still yet to hear if repairs will be done on the old road, but that's how it looks right on your screen. And that Ephraim Njenga fan says, "Ye children of a lesser lord, it is now emerging that the contractor of the Nairobi Expressway was not legally obliged to repair the old road, which they damaged during the construction. A new contractor will be brought in to do the repairs at an unknown cost." And you guys may want to think about this because, yeah, let me maintain my cool. And someone who retweets that at Ikalo Siam says that State House Kenya, as the president prepares to open the Nairobi Expressway tomorrow, would he mind commenting on the state of the old road and what plans his government has in terms of putting it back to its original condition? And I'm like, yes, I think that's something we need to hear about, and we need to get a comment on, will the road be repaired? What is supposed to happen? Because we've seen damages here and there, potholes here and there. It's not a good sight, you guys, not a good sight. That aside, anyway, if you can make it tomorrow for the public trial, do so. Let us know. Interact with us on social media pages, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, as well as Kirk TV Kenya. Tell us how you'll find that experience. Moving on, guys, let's have a look at a very interesting story. So we cross over to the UK, and this is where a British employment tribunal concluded that calling a man bald is a form of sexual harassment. So if you've been doing it, stop. Of course, this is in the UK, and I want you to tell me what you think. Should we adapt this as well? Because we're used to making such jokes. You are bald and all that. But you guys, it is now a form of sexual harassment. According to the 3 judges that made the ruling, using the word bald could be inherently related to sex and amount to some form of discrimination. Well, this stems from the fact that hair loss is more common among men than in women. So calling a man bald in the workplace is a form of discrimination, and hear this, it is comparable to commenting on the size of a woman's breast. It is that serious. All in all I'm saying is, whether we adopt it here in Kenya or we don't, all I'm saying is, let's be sensitive. Do not go about commenting on, you know, people's appearance and people's look, because you do not know how that impacts them, how that affects them, and what they're struggling with. So whether it is a form of sexual harassment in our country or not, guys, just be sensitive, just be emotional, intelligent. That's the word. Anyway, let's move on to, if you don't know what today is Friday the 13th. Does that ring a bell? If it doesn't, I'm here to let you know that Friday the 13th is considered an unlucky day. Of course, this is the Western superstitions, but it occurs that when the 13th day of the month in the Gregorian calendar falls on a Friday, which happens to be at least once every year or thrice in the same year, it means that bad luck could happen. Now, many people believe this. You'll be actually shocked that many people believe that Friday the 13th is a day that brings bad luck, to an extent where, guys, certain people call off from work and they say they can't go in because they believe that bad things or unlucky things will happen to them when they leave their houses. So people who believe that Friday the 13th is a day that is associated with bad lucks happening, they do not leave their houses. You know, they're like, let's stay safe and let's protect ourselves. Anyway, this particular idea, it is not really certain where it originated from. However, there are so many theories that try to explain this, and sadly or not sadly, some people have believed in this theory. However, good news is there is very little evidence to show that Friday the 13th is indeed an unlucky day or associated with natural disasters, because when you think about accidents, they happen even on other days which are not Friday the 13th. Yeah, I'm not here to say you should stop believing in this. I'm just here to tell you that studies have shown that there is little evidence that Friday the 13th has been termed as an unlucky day. So if you're looking yourself up, scared or afraid that someone will stab you, walk out the door, breathe in and breathe out, and go enjoy life. Well, talking about Friday the 13th this year, it will only happen this time. So if you do believe in this, and if it's a day that scares you, you're lucky, because Friday the 13th in this whole year will not happen again. With that said, guys, we are almost coming to an end, but I would love you to leave you with a quote from the 26th President of the United States. This is Theodore Roosevelt, who says, when you are at the end of your rope, tie a knot and hold on. So in honor of May, which is the Mental Health Awareness Month, I am here to tell you guys, if you feel like you are losing it, if you feel like you are at the end of the rope and you're about to let go, tie a knot right there and keep holding on, keep having hope. Thank you so much for tuning in to Trending on the Web segment with me, Faith Kaulu. Definitely keep interacting with us on our social media pages, Kirk TV Kenya, but keep it right here, because Kirk in the Morning is still ongoing. You know what they say about good music, that if you want to dance, you should go to Batoto Bakongole. Now, we have brought you Batoto Bakongole right here in the studio. Coming right up in our guest artist segment is a Kenyan-based Congo artist, and she's going to give you all the good vibes coming up with Christopher Sambo. But for me, right here on Trending on the Web, that's it, guys. Till next time, goodbye.
Duniani mawimbi yazuka upande wote, ubaki pamoja nami siku zote, uwe tu nami. Yesu ubaki pamoja nami, maana zoruba yaja duniani, Yesu wangu, tena mawimbi yazuka upande wote. Baba ubaki pamoja nami siku zote, uwe tu nami. Mbele zako nasogea, nakuja kama nilivyo, pembeni nawe nikae siku zangu daima, na ndani mwako nidumu hata milele, nitabaki tu nawe daima. Ndio maana mbele zako nasogea, nakuja kama nilivyo, pembeni nawe nikae siku zangu daima, na ndani mwako nidumu siku zote hata milele, nitabaki tu nawe daima. Bwana wangu, nahitaji niwe chumvi nzuri kwa ajili ya dunia nzima. Nakataa kuwa chumvi yenye kuharibika. Ongoza hatua zangu, nielekeze nitakapoenda. Natamani nibaki tu na wewe. Bwana wangu, mimi nabaki na wewe, Masia wangu, siku zangu zote na wewe, Jehova wangu. Ndani mwako nimepata vyote nilivyovihitaji. Kuwa nawe ni furaha siku zote maishani. Ndio maana mimi nabaki na wewe, Baba yangu. Bila wewe siwezi, mbali nawe tashindwa Baba. Nahitaji kuwa tu nawe, nibaki karibu nawe Baba, ndani mwako tena nikae siku zangu zote, nitulie. Nje kuna zoruba, ndani mwako nikae, ndani mwako nikae. Mbele zako nasogea, Yesu, 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 Baba, 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 siku zangu tena ndani mwako nidumu mimi Baba, hata milele, hata milele na milele. Nitabaki Yesu, nibaki nawe. Ndio maana Yehova wangu, mbele zako nasogea, nakuja kama nilivyo, pembeni nawe nikae siku zangu daima, na ndani mwako nidumu mimi Baba, hata milele, hata milele na milele Baba. Nibaki na wewe, tabaki na wewe rafiki yangu, nitabaki tu nawe. Ndani mwako ndo mna misingi yangu ya imani, ndani sitotoka, nabaki nawe. Kukujua ni faida, maana wanipeleka karibu nawe, hata milele njoo. Kama Lutu mtabaki nawe, nitaenda nawe. Kama Nuhu nabaki nawe. mawimbi yazuka upande wote, ubaki pamoja nami siku zote, wetu nami. Yesu ubaki pamoja nami, maana zoruba duniani, tena mawimbi upande wote, ubaki pamoja nami siku zote, wetu nami. Mbele zako nasogea, nakuja kama nilivyo, pembeni nawe nikae siku zangu daima, na ndani mwako nidumu hata milele, nitabaki tu nawe daima. Ndio maana Yesu, 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 Baba pembeni nawe Yesu, tena na ndani mwako siku zote, hadi nikone paradisi, Mungu wangu daima. Bwana wangu, natamani niwe chumvi nzuri kwa ajili ya dunia nzima. Nakataa kuwa chumvi yenye kuharibika. Ongoza hatua zangu, nielekeze nitakakoenda. Natamani nibaki tu na wewe. Haleluya. Na wewe, Masia wangu.
Right. And in case you're wondering, the melodious voice is that of Nadine Kibunga. Karibu sana kwenye studio zetu. Nashukuru sana umepata time to come here.
Asante.
And just starting from where that song imemalizia. It's just a blessing song. And it's more of a worship song. And if I look at you, pia unaimba ngoma nyingi sana za worship. Nini inakupa inspiration ya kuandika muziki wako?
Kabisa mimi niseme tu ni Mungu ananisaidia. Kwa sababu nikisema ni kitu fulani ni fulani, kabisa nitakuwa nasema uongo. Huwa zinakuja na muda, huwa zinakuja, huwa nazisikiza nikitembea, huwa nazisipata nikilala, huwa niseme tu ni Mungu ananipea songs.
Na kwa hivyo like unakaa tu alafu ngoma inakujia kulingana na vitu zinafanyika?
Si hivyo, muda mwingi nikijipea muda wa kuomba, huwa napata wimbo sana. Muda wa kuwa peke yangu kabisa, kutafuta uso wa Mungu peke yangu, kusahau kila kitu, huwa napata song sana. Hata nikitembea nikiwa vizuri tu na Mungu, usiwana wangu ukiwa mzuri, huwa napata songs nyingi.
Na kuna mtazamaji anaweza kuwa is watching you right now, popote penye yako, anajiuliza Nadine Kibunga ni nani? Yani manake labda mara yao ya kwanza kukuona, ama pia wamewahi kukuona lakini hawajajua Nadine Kibunga ni nani. Hebu tueleze Nadine Kibunga ni nani?
Mtazamaji wangu mpenzi, wacha nikusalimu kwanza kwa jina la Yesu. Nadine Kibunga ni mwimbaji wa nyimbo za Injili, ni mama wa watoto wawili, ni mke wa mume mmoja. Tena Nadine Kibunga ni huyu tu unaona hapa, si zaidi ya huyu. Ni mwimbaji tu.
Wengi wanakujua kama mwimbaji, lakini labda hawajui kama kuna kitu kingine unachokifanya kando na pia kuwa mwimbaji. Ipo kitu kingine unakifanya kenye pia ungependa watazamaji wako waweze kujua?
Mimi niseme kando na uimbaji, mimi pia ni mtangazaji wa habari njema. Huwa pia na ubiri, huwa pia na train watu vogue. Huwa pia nasaidia watu wengi tu kwa kujipata. Kama unakutana watu wengi wanakuambia sisi ningetaka unielezee kitu fulani kuhusu kutungaji wa wimbo, kuhusu nini, huwa nasaidia watu wakinikaribia kutunga pia wimbo.
Na tuseme Nadine Kibonga, wengi wanakujua sana maybe kwa sababu ya performances zako Nairobi pia, lakini Nadine Kibonga, wewe mwanzo umetoka wapi?
Hiyo swali mimi wanga sijuangi venye ya kujibu vizuri. Sababu mimi kusema mali natoka ni uongo. Niko fasi yote kwa mara moja. Sitakangi sana kusema mimi natoka mahali fulani, mimi ni wa mahali fulani. Mimi niseme tu Nadine Kibonga unayemuona hapa ni Muafrika. Ni Muafrika, ametoka tu katika Afrika.
Labda mtu mwenye angetaka labda akisema angetaka kujua ulikozaliwa, ulikokulia na mahali muziki wako ulikoanzia. Ndio mwanzo tuseme hiyo yote ni safari. Ukaja kujipata mwanzo unataka kwanza kuimba. Wewe ulianzia kuimba wapi?
Ni sawa, nitaijibu tu batua hiyo swali. Wanga si nasikianga changamoto sana. Umetoka wapi, wewe ni nani? Ni sawa, kila mtu wanga anakuanga na mahali ametoka.
Amechipukia.
Mahali amezaliwa, mahali amechipukia. So Nadine Kibonga ni mzaliwa wa Kongo. Natoka Kongo DRC. Kwetu kabisa ni Bukavu. Nimezaliwa Bukavu. Na hapo ndiko nilianzia wimbo. Yani utotoni tukipanda. So mimi niseme tu nimechipukia kwa familia ya Kikristo. Nimezaliwa kwanza, baba alikuwa Mkristo hata kama ameshatoweka. Mama pia ni Mkristo. Nimezaliwa katika familia ya Kikristo, natoka Kongo. Mimi ni mwimbaji huko na kwa sasa najipata hapa.
Na tuseme safari yako ya muziki tangia mwaka gani na imekuwaje wewe kuwa msanii na mwimbaji wa nyimbo za Injili kuanzia ulipoanza hadi sasa?
Amen. So hiyo ni ndefu kiasi but nitarahisisha. Niseme tu mimi nimezaliwa kwanza kwa familia ya Wakristo. Dada zangu walikuwa wanaimba, wakitupeleka kwa kwaya tukienda kunaimba hivyo kama kawaida. So nimekuja kujitoa kama mimi ilikuwa 2013 ndo nimeanza career yangu ya uimbaji kama mimi Nadine. So nilifanya concert ya kwanza hapo kwetu Bukavu. Ikakuwa imenifungulia milango kubwa sana hata kwa kuingia kwa competition ilikuwa kwetu. Wa Mungu akanisaidia pia nikakuwa mshindi kwa hiyo competition hiyo 2013 na Mungu akanisaidia kabisa kupenya kuingia mara moja kwa uwanja wa muziki na kunipea kibali. Na hapo nilifanya album yangu ya kwanza. Hiyo nilirekodi album yangu ya kwanza 2014 ilikuwa Tanzania. Niliporudi nikakuja ku launch Kongo. Afu hiyo 2015 nilikuwa nimetoka sasa kutoka Kongo Afrika Oleka. Oleka nikafika Uganda, ndio ilikuwa ni mahali nilikuwa ninaishi. Hapa nimefika Nairobi tu 2020 ndio nimefika Nairobi hapa. Na sababu tumehamia huko familia yangu na mume wangu na ndio tunajipata hapa. Kabisa.
Hivyo safari yako ya muziki imekuwa ndefu kabisa na
ndefu kabisa.
Pia ni ndefu kwa sababu umeweza kutoa pia muziki nyingi, tuseme ni nyingi
kabisa. Miaka 10. Hii mwaka mwezi wa 5 nimeeneza miaka 10
ndio umefika miaka 10. Experience kubwa sana ya muziki. Wewe kama mwimbaji wa miaka 10 sasa, nini ambacho unaweza sema umejifunza kwa hiyo wakati yenye umekuwa ukitunga, ukiimba pia na ukitoa pia muziki za Injili?
Nimejifunza mengi, really nimejifunza mengi. Sababu huwa kila muda ukipiga hatua unakutana na changamoto, hiyo changamoto inakufanya ujifunze. Yani nilikoanza na ninakojipata kwa nchi mgeni ambapo sina ndugu, ninajipata tu na familia yangu, na kwambia nimekutana na mengi, imenisaidia kujifunza mengi kwa huduma hii. Kwanza tu niseme Mungu amekuwa mwaminifu. Amenisaidia kwa kila hatua nikipiga. Huwa ananisaidia na nifunza pia kitu ambao sikukuwa najua kabisa. Hadi hapa niseme Mungu amenifunza mengi. Kabisa.
Na kati ya hiyo safari mzima na ni muziki gani ama nyimbo gani uliyoimba yenye unasema kwamba na nyimbo yenye iliweza kufungua sema milango kubwa, kwa sababu pia unaweza kuwa ulianza kuimba kitambo lakini kuma wakati ambapo kuna muziki uliweza kuimba ambao unahisi iliweza kufungua taaluma yako ya muziki na ikakufungulia njia kabisa, ni muziki gani?
Itakuwa pia uongo. Sababu nikisema hiyo ni muziki fulani nitakuwa nimesema uongo. Really sijui ni hipi. Sababu nilianza tu nikajipata kuna watu unajua sasa kusema ni moja, kuna muziki zangu kama 4 zilinipea nafasi zikaingia kwa mioyo ya watu mara moja. So nikisema moja nitakuwa ninasema uongo, kwa ziliingia kwa mioyo ya watu, hiyo muda wakaipokea hivyo, afu ikanifanya watu pia wafurahie kuimba kwangu, wanikubali venye nilivyo.
Na ipo changamoto umepatana nayo ukiimba kwa hicho kipindi ambacho umeimba miaka 10? Miaka 10 si chache.
Nyingi sana. Changamoto ni nyingi sana. Nyingi sana.
Kama zipi ambazo pia unaweza kashare na maybe msanii pia anaweza kutazama na perhaps pia ana face the same challenges na wewe uliweza kuzitoboa, maybe yeye anazipitia sasa hivi, unaweza kazi sema na kutuambia vipi unaweza kakiuka hizo changamoto?
Niseme recording ya album yangu ya kwanza ilikuwa na changamoto kubwa sana. Nilipomaliza hiyo competition Congo 2013, nikakuwa nimekusanya pesa yenye ikaniwezesha kutoka nje kufanya kazi. Nilikutoka kwangu nje ilikuwa sababu studio nyingi kwetu zilikuwa zikifanya nikimaliza album yangu utapata tu stima ati imeungua, ati hiyo imepotea, ati studio ati kumekuja shida. Yani nimefanya miaka 2 nikirecord kwa studio afu sipataki kazi. Sipati, yani unakutana tu bahati mbaya utapata hiyo kona kumeungua. Na hiyo studio imepatana huko imeungua hivyo. Bahati mbaya utapata ati ilikuwa ati computer imegoma, ati tumepoteza vitu. Yani niseme hiyo album ilikuwa ya shida. Ilikuwa shida sana. Hata na title yao ilikuwa Vumilia Itakwisha. Maybe hiyo ndo Mungu alikuwa ananifunza kabisa, yani nikae nikivumilia niwe na moyo wa subira. Yani nakwambia ili niletea changamoto hadi nikakuwa nimesema Mungu, mbona mwanzo wangu inaanza mgumu? So niseme tu Mungu alikuja kuniwezesha kukusanya pesa kwenda TZ, na ni TZ sasa ndo nilirekodia hiyo albamu yangu ikakuwa rahisi sasa hapo na nikarudi.
Unaweza tupa kionjo ya Vumilia Itakwisha?
Kabisa.
Tusikie kutoka kwako mwenyewe.
Magumu kawaida ya dunia ndugu, magumu kawaida ya dunia. Waweza kosa leo, kesho utapata yo. Waweza lia leo, kesho utacheka Vumilia yatakwisha Vumilia yatakwisha.
Nafikiri pia mtazamaji ameweza kusikia, anafaa kuvumilia yatakwisha.
Yatakwisha kabisa.
March forward, tusonge mbele kabisa hadi ukaja kuimba ukawa msanii sasa amesimama kabisa. Amesimama kabisa. Na ukakuja nchini Kenya tuseme 2020 na pia kuendeleza muziki wako. Wakati umekuja Kenya, kipi ambacho umeona tofauti sana na jinsi ulivyokuwa ukifanya muziki awali kuanzia na 2020 umekuja Kenya, environment mpya, pia muziki pia iko na mafans wapya. Wewe vipi uliweza kuadapt na hiyo kuja Nairobi?
Yani niseme tu Nairobi Kenya nimeipenda. Sababu nilipokuja hapa sikuwa nafikiria venye niko. Sikuwa nadhania kama watu watapokea muziki wangu venye wanaupokea. Niseme tu Nairobi Kenya hii aki wamenipenda, na kwanza ni washukuru. Asanteni sana wa Kenya kwa kunichukua na kwa kunikubali jinsi nilivyo na kukubali kazi zangu. Yani toka moyoni ninasema asante. Nimeona utofauti mkubwa sana nilipotoka kwetu na kufika na hapa. Kwa sababu niseme 2020 ndio nimeona mabadiliko mengi sana kwa njia ya muziki. Nilipoimba wimbo wangu wa kwanza Baki Nami. Huo wimbo umenifungulia milango mikubwa Kenya hii, afu na mimi mwenyewe nikikaa nasema Mungu uko mwaminifu, umetaka nikuje. Nimeona utofauti kabisa kwa njia mengi sana. Nimefunguliwa na watu wengi sana, nimepata na kupatana na watu wengi sana kwa Nairobi kupita mahali pengine. Nimeona mkono wa Mungu.
Hiyo actually wa Kenya wengi najua mahali wako wanafurahi sana kwa sababu wanasikia pia wamekushikilia kimuziki
kabisa
na ukakuja ukatoa muziki surprise
kabisa.
Surprise, tuambie kuhusu muziki.
Muziki yani Nilipofika kwanza Nairobi, kwa nini niliimba Baki Nami? Sababu niliambia Mungu, ni nchi kabisa mpya. Sijui, sifahamu, nataka tu kitu moja, baki na mimi ndani ya mgeni huu ili nione mkono wako. Surprise niliimba, nilikuja kuimba hapa lakini muujiza wake ulifanyika Uganda. Surprise ni wimbo ambao umenifanya kubadilisha hali yangu, niseme namna gani. Nilipozaa mtoto wangu wa kwanza mimi nilifanywa operation. Afu nikakuwa nimeambiwa venye nimeanza hivyo nitaendelea hivyo. Afu nikakuwa mimi ni mnono but natakanga sana nikisifu niruke nicheze Mungu na mwili yangu yote. Nikakuwa naambia Mungu, yani nikikuwa mtu wa kuzaa operation every day, itafika muda ambao sitakuwa tena na nguvu ya kukutumikia. So sasa natamani tu mtoto wangu wa pili uje yake kunisaidia nizae vizuri. Kumbe sasa atakuja haraka venye sikuwa natarajia. Sasa mtoto wa pili akakuja mbio na waliniambianga nipumzike miaka 3, nikamfatisha kwa mwaka 1. So ikakuwa yani kidonda kiko bichi na niko na ujauzito. Yani hapo mume wangu alikuwa amekata tamaa, familia walikuwa wanajua tu kama mimi nitazaa tena tu kwa operation. But mimi nikafanya agano na Mungu. Nikamwambia Mungu, ukinizalisha vizuri kwa hii sitawekanga miguu yangu chini, nitakutumikia hadi mwisho. Nikakuwa na hiyo bidii. Kweli nikakuwa na hiyo bidii. Nakwambia ukweli, Mungu akakuja kuifanya hivyo. Kitu ambacho hakikuwa possible, lakini Mungu akanizalisha vizuri kwa njia halali kama mwanamke wowote duniani. Nikapokea mtoto wangu wa pili Jeremiah. Yani hiyo siku nikizaa mtoto wangu ndo siku nilipatanga wimbo huu surprise.
Ukaimba.
Yani
tufanye wimbo, sijui wimbo tufanye surprise.
Amen.
Naweza katupa hiyo surprise.
Hawezi kamwe kuaibika. Machozi yangu wameni surprise na kunipa furaha na amani moyo. Amefanya jinsi alivyofanya Farao mbele ya bahari ya Shamu. Kama hivyo surprise manabii wa Baali ashusha moto juu ya maji. Mwanamke aliyevuja damu kamgusa mara tu, surprise. Hata na wewe pia atakusurprise. Hakika Mungu wetu yeye yule jana leo na wala habadiliki. Jamani nawaambia ukweli, usinione nilivyo, Yesu amenitendea, amebadili maisha yangu na kunipa tena tumaini. Ndio maana ninamwimbia maishani mwangu, ndio maana ninamwimbia maishani mwangu. Surprise, Yesu ameni surprise, jinsi nilivyo ni surprise, ameni surprise, maisha yangu ni surprise, Yesu ameni surprise, jinsi nilivyo mimi surprise, ameni surprise.
Alright, surprise. Ndio Mungu akakutendea muujiza.
Yani Mungu akagusa hapo kwa moyo, akanitendea muujiza ambao ilikuwa tofauti kabisa. Nikaimba wimbo surprise. Yani wimbo nimeupatanga, yani unaona wameniacha kulikujanga mganga wa mwanamke, akanitizama tu akasema kwa Uganda wanasemanga bamlongose, wamemfanyizia operation. Ati huyu ni operation tu. Nikamwambia we mama, mimi Mungu ameniambia kama nitazaa. Akaniambia huyu amekuwa kama amechanganikiwa. Akaniacha peke yangu. Hapo ni mimi na Mungu wangu. Nikamwambia Yesu, uliniambia kwamba nitazaa. Sijui nguvu zilikujanga na wapi, nikashikilia nikaleta mtoto wangu peke yangu, wakakuja kumshikilia kwa miguu yangu.
Hivyo Mungu akutendea muujiza.
Mungu akanitendea muujiza tofauti.
Pia kabadilisha maisha yako, pia kaza kutoa muziki yenye watu wanaweza kasikia vizuri wakisikiza. Kutoka hapo pia umefanya ushindi wako. Hiyo ndo tutakuwa tunamalizia nayo, lakini kuna mtazamaji anaweza kuwa na kutazama mwanamuziki, msanii yoyote ambaye anahisi kwamba ni kama anachoka ama ni kama mambo yake yendi vizuri. Kuna kipindi ambacho pia wewe ulikuwa unaanza ulisikia changamoto hizo. Kwa ile kamera ambayo unakutazama unaweza hawapa advice gani waliona katika hiyo hali?
Mpendwa wangu unayekuwa katika hali ya kukata tamaa, nisikilize vizuri. Ni wakati ambako zoruba inajaa baharini, ambapo mawimbi inakuwa mingi, ndipo watu wanakaribiaka kwa kufika nchi kavu. Ninakuja tu kukuambia usikate tamaa, usivunjike moyo. Hata mimi pia nilikuwa hapo. Nilikuwa nasema saa zingine nimejituma, huyu Mungu wa mbinguni hajanituma. Saa zingine niko najiongoza, Mungu wa mbinguni hajaniongoza. Lakini aliposimama alibadilisha mambo yote, na mimi niko na kicheko namna unavyoniona na furaha tele moyoni. Ninakuja tu kukuambia kwamba hakuna yeyote aliyemtegemea Yesu Kristo na akaibika. Katika hali yote unayopitia ngumu, namna gani machozi kikutoka kwa macho unahisi uko peke yako, no, yuko karibu na wewe. Muitie Yesu Kristo, atakusaidia. Usikate tamaa, piga hatua, simama. Kama yule mwanamke aliyegusa pindo la vazi la Yesu Kristo, simama na wewe kwa imani, utaona muujiza wako. Usikate tamaa.
Asante sana kwa kuwapa hiyo advice, wasikate tamaa. Na ni kweli huwezi kukata tamaa, lazima ufanikiwe. Na tukiweza kumalizia, muziki wako, wanaotaka kupata muziki wako wanaweza kupata wapi? Social media zako pia unaweza kawapa wanaotaka pia kusika advice kwako, na pia wenye wanataka kukuongelesha wanaweza kupata wapi?
Ukinitafuta utanipata kwa social media, niko Facebook, niko Instagram, utanipata kama Nadine Kibunga NK. YouTube pia utaweza enda hapo, utabarikiwa, utapata channel yangu ni Nadine Kibunga NK. Utabarikiwa na wimbo nyingi hapo. Ukitafuta kuniongelesha utanipata huko kote, ni Nadine Kibunga NK.
Na tukimalizia, tutarajie nini kutoka kwako?
Mtarajie mambo mazuri. Sunday iliyopita nilikuwa na live recording hapo Komarok Calvary Covenant Center. Nimefanya live recording ya wimbo 7. Najua kabisa katika hizi wimbo kuna 1, 2, 3 itakubariki. Tutarajie usoni. Juma kesho nitatangazia ni lini ninatoa wimbo wa kwanza ambao unaitwa Jehovah is your name. Wimbo utakubariki. Tarajia mazuri. Na
kabla hiyo wimbo yote tufunge na ushindi wako.
Amen.
Asante sana. Unaweza simama sasa. Tumalize.
Nashukuru kwa kunipea nafasi.
Tumalize na ushindi wako. Asante sana kwa kukuja. Ushindi wako.
Ushindi ni wako, ushindi ni wako. Ushindi ni wako, ushindi ni wako. Ushindi ni wako, ushindi ni wako. Yesu, ushindi ni wako. Ushindi ni wako, ushindi ni wako. Hakika ushindi ni wako, Yesu. Na kutangaza uliye angikwa msalabani, ili na mimi nipate kusamehewa dhambi zangu. Ulichukua mizigo, aibu na fedheha yangu, ili na mimi nitwe leo mwana wako Yesu. Ili niwe jinsi nilivyo, kuna yule aliyejitoa, kachukua nafasi yangu na kachukua mizigo yangu. Nimepewa uzima bure na nafasi ndani ya ufalme wake. Hii ni zawadi ya kipekee amenipa. Ushindi ni wako, ushindi ni wako. 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 Yesu, ushindi ni wako, ushindi ni wako. Ushindi ni wako, ushindi ni wako. Ushindi ni wako, ushindi ni wako. Oh, ushindi ni wako, ushindi ni wako. Nakutangazia uliyekata tamaa, kuna yule yuko juu sana, alishinda kifo na mauti, na sasa yuko kwa Baba. Kama yeye alishinda, basi na sisi pia tu washindi. Kama alifufuka katika wafu, basi na wewe shinda yako unaweza. Nini inayokusumbua wewe? Mwambie. Nini inakutatiza mami? Mwambie. Alisema imekwisha msamaha, na yote akayachukua. Kwa nini wajitwika mzigo bure? Na wesema tumtwike yeye. Nini inayokusumbua wewe? Mwambie. Masikio yake iko wazi tu. Mwambie. Kama yeye alibeba mizigo yote, ni mizigo gani unajitwika wewe? Anasema nira yake ni laini, na mzigo wake ni mwepesi. Nini inakusumbua wewe? Mwambie. Nini inayokuweka chini? Mwambie. Ushindi ni wake. Ninakuja kukwambia ndugu yangu, ni nini inakusumbua? Ni magonjwa ya aina gani?